faces. In some cases, there are some old faces here. So
Whoa, easy there, Tyler.
But first of all, I'd like to thank his two sons who put this whole thing together.
Good job.
And his wife, Chris and Steven. All right, so just a couple things, and then we're going to let everybody have a chance at you, Rick. So, let's see what we got here. Chris, Steven, Pat, his wife Pat, put all the centerpieces out here and all that stuff. So that was very
She
nice.
drove her sons out of their minds, from what I hear.
Yeah, I'm sure she did. So Rick's leaving Bondland now. He's left Bondland. He's been retired. But just a little fact that there was actually 9 tailors who worked for Bondland at one time or another. Yeah, so there was John.
Malcolm in the list?
Yeah, Malcolm. But there was John Jr., Rick, Chris, Steven, Renee, Sharon, Lance, and myself. Rick's my baby brother, and he got some notes from his other relatives. His sister, his younger sister Lori, said to congratulate him, and that she'll have to continue working to contribute to his Social Security. Okay. His brother Tom just said that congratulations and joined the rest of the retirees. And his sister Jean said that now they'll have a lot of free time. He can come down and help her at her house. Let's see who else we got here. Andy Boniface is here. Andy, thanks for showing up for Rick's party here. I guess Bill's on vacation, or
He's playing golf.
he's playing golf. No, I didn't say Bill Heck. I said Bill.
That's why Bill had to leave.
Okay. I thought about a lot of different people and worked with Ricky over the years, and some of them are no longer with us. But I remember Ricky working with Walter Nodell, Sybil.
Yeah.
And, right? Another name, Chicky. Another name, West Eloff.
Yep.
How about West Eloff? There's a class act, right? Jimmy Manzella. Ricky can tell you stories about Jimmy Manzella, and I'm sure a lot of us might not want to hear. Other names came up were Frank McCarthy, Wayno, Wayne and Ricky and Jimmy O'Hanlon. Now, if you want stories.
Hey,
And we know your babies are here.
Hey, we always ended up in a bowling alley.
And we weren't bowling.
Yeah, bowling alley.
Richie Flower was in that crew with those guys. Another one that Ricky worked with was Owen Boyle.
Yeah.
And Ricky, the story with Ricky was with Owen Boyle, and Owen Boyle fell and broke both his hands. And Ricky, with his sense of humor, said, I sure hope he doesn't have to go to the bathroom. Then we had some others who are unfortunate along with, like Russell and Artie, and the list goes on, unfortunately. But there are a lot of the memories. When we would sit on the beach down the shore, our wives would get upset at times because all we would talk about was a lot of times was work. But that's what you did all the time. And the nicknames that we had for people, we had Louis Torres, used to call him Lunchbox Louis,
Lunchbox,
and his son's nickname was Snack Pack. Yeah, right. And then we had Clowny Downey. Everybody remembers Jim Downey. And they go, where do you come up with all these names for him? But Ricky was affectionately one time known as Mr. Salty.
Yes.
Right? So he used to grow that beard for the winter time when it got nice and cold. So he's retired now. Like I mentioned, my sister already has him lined up for quite a few projects. Let's see, real quick. Oh, when he was young, Ricky was always a hustler. He was always working. He had a paper route when he was real small. He went to Queen of Peace Grammar School, North Arlington High School, and then he joined the Navy. He did his term in the Navy. Our side, yeah. Well, I'm not sure now, because the story was, I introduced him to my brother-in-law. Now, Ricky was an enlisted man, and my brother-in-law was an officer. And we were all together one time, and they got talking, hey, Rick, you were in the Navy. Bruce was in the Navy. And they were both stationed in the Mediterranean. And my brother-in-law, Bruce, goes, oh, you were there, Rick. Did you ever visit the opera or the museum and that? And Ricky goes, no. He says, didn't you ever visit this bar or that bar? I think they were two different navies. And Ricky had become known as a collector, and he actually started some of his first collections in the Navy in Italy. Okay?
What kind of collections?
Look out the box. Different port.
Want to elaborate?
Okay, so anyway,
Moving on.
Yeah, he wants to keep moving on here now. So,
He used to be so proud of cameos.
Yeah, When Ricky first got out of the Navy, he needed a place to stay, so we had extra rooms up in the attic, so Ricky stayed with us. And I learned how he became such a good foreman for Bondland because he worked for a landscaper. Well, this landscaper would come to our house at like 4 o'clock in the morning to pick Ricky up and start blowing the horn. Well, at that time, my son was a little kid, we had babies and that stuff, and sometimes Ricky wasn't home yet. So he couldn't be going to work with this guy. And I had to go out and tell this guy, if you blow that horn one more time. And he goes, where is Ricky? Where is Ricky? Well, Ricky said that the only thing this guy would ever say to him all day was, Ricky, push, Ricky, push, push. We got the bomb, man. There was Ricky. Push. Okay. Ricky also just recently taken up playing the guitar. Which I think that's really good. He's a big Alice Cooper fan, in case everybody wants to know. But right? And he's playing guitar, and which is a good thing. He also plays
David
golf.
Bowie.
We played golf the other day, which is a nice thing. Retired now, guys who want to get out. And what else we got for Ricky? Let's see. Oh, he still is an instructor at the hall. He still teaches rigging, and he's teaching siding and decking. So he's staying involved a little bit. I don't know how much longer he'll do that, but he's still down there, which is a good thing. And that's it. That's it. Oh, he goes to the gym, and he's affectionately known by Lip as Shredded Rick. And I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing coming from Rick. But again, Rick, I can only congratulate you. There's an old saying, you can choose your friends, you can't choose your relatives. I choose you as my friend anytime.